So when you're diagnosed with testicular cancer, when you're 25 and you're pretty much immediately told that you're going to be losing your left testicle, a lot of questions kind of go through your mind. Number one, am I going to die from this? Number two, what's it going to be like to live with one testicle? But the most important question that went through my mind is, when will it be my turn to win the Tour de France? So as I shared yesterday, telling my dad didn't go as expected. He was quite the ball buster. So I decided, they'll come quick, people. That's not what she said. Anyways, so I decided that my mom could tell the rest of my family. So I'm recovering from my surgery, and a text message comes in, and it's from my uncle, and he says, "How you doing, buddy?" And I said, "You know, right now I'm feeling a little bit more aerodynamic." And he said, "Well, I found the perfect place for you to do your physical therapy." And I was a little confused because you don't have to do physical therapy. But I kind of figured out where a lot of ball-related injuries are sports-related injuries. So I tell him, send me what you got. And he had indeed found the best place for me to do my physical therapy. It was a trash removal service. And in big, bold letters, it said, "Call us now, 1-800-GOT-JUNK." But as I read the fine print, it was even better. It said, "All services now, half off." So humor clearly runs in my family, but I found that humor can come in the most unexpected places. However, it's a little alarming when the humor source is your medical provider. So the worst part about being a cancer survivor, in my opinion, is the annual scans. And I normally have some symptoms arise, and I realize that I do need to tell my medical staff because it's very important for me to take care of my own staff. So I tell the nurse that I'm having some pain in my scrotum. And she said, "No problem, I just need a couple more bits of information. How long's this been going on?" I said, "About a week or two." And she said, "Have you felt a lump?" And I said, "No, but what time do you get off? We can try this later." My wife didn't like that one very much. So she says, "Okay, just one last question. Is this pain occurring in your left or your right testicle?" And I stared at her, and I said, "Yes." But I'm not the only testicular cancer survivor who uses humor to talk about his condition. We all know Kyle, and Kyle was actually one of the first people to reach out to me when I was diagnosed and I went public. And I would like to also go on record and say that this was the first time, and pretty much one of the only times, that I was okay with a guy sliding into my DMs to talk about his testicles. So Kyle and I, we messaged back and forth, but we actually got to meet face-to-face the first time at Healthy Voices last year. And I realized that throughout the year of talking, there was a very important thing that I wanted to ask him, since he's a more advanced survivor than I. But I was a little nervous, but I realized I just kind of had to do it. I mean, in essence, I had to sack up. So I looked him in the eye and I said, "Kyle, did you lose your right or your left testicle?" And he looks at me and he said, "How could we have never talked about that? We've really dropped the ball here." "But I did lose my left testicle. What about you?" And I look at him with tears in my eyes and I say, "You're my other half." So I wasn't always going to be so open about talking about this, but because when you're in your 20s, it's not exactly easy to stand up in front of the world and tell everybody that you're now one pilot short with a full cockpit. But I realized that my story could help get the ball rolling on a larger narrative. But as I stand here before you tonight, it's pretty clear that I'm okay about talking about it, because I did just perform a full set about my testicles, which is pretty ironic because you could never consider my testicles to be a full set. Thank you.